Alex in Goku R32 just won Brisbane Roll Racing. So we made it out to QR, we're here. We've got 4 cars here tonight out of the, we did pretty good, we got 4 out of 5 is what we were going to have. Is that right? We were going to have 5 cars, we've got 4 cars. Fortunately, Big Deal didn't make it. That is what it is, that situation, but we got 4 customer cars out here, which is sort of more so the goal. I guess we want to see them racing more than we need to go racing, if that makes sense. I think it does. Here's Goku now, there you go. Come to join the party. True Street, 1200 horsepower driven to the track. Drove it here, he'll drive it home. But yeah, he's coming over to join the lineup. So we got Jamie's car is here, it's made it. So it made 1052 on the dyno today. It's looking really good, sounded really healthy, making the power a little bit earlier on, had a little bit of stuff done to the head. So it's doing really good. We got the S15, the red S15 with the 2JZ, it's made it here. About 920 at the moment to the rears. We got on the dyno not too long ago at 920. And then we've got the Datsun 1200 in the background there. It also went on the dyno today, it made 456. So nice little healthy numbers from the CA. And then obviously we've got Goku, the silver R32 GTR in the background there. That made 1200 horsepower, Samsoners, sequential, all-wheel drive, PRP, billet sump, all the goodness. So we got a few cars out here tonight, should be some really good racing. I'm sure these guys are going to line up against each other for most of the night, but hopefully we'll get to see some other cars at some stage. But if not, then enjoy them racing each other. If they race some other people for once, then enjoy that too. So we're just having a look at some traction control stuff we might throw into some of the cars. We're going to see how the track goes, but normally here, because the cars can do a burnout at QR, at Sydney, these Sydney cars, or Jamie specifically, can't do a burnout at Sydney, so he sometimes struggles with traction. Here he should be right because he can do a burnout, warm up the tyres, so if we need some traction control stuff for him, we'll look into that, but we're pretty sure it'll be fine. We got boost by gear in it, so that should be enough to get him down the track in a quick manner. So do some final checkovers and we'll get out there. We'll go racing. Alex in Goku R32 just won Brisbane Roll Racing. He had a really good run. He actually, I would say that's probably the hardest run that he could have possibly picked. Here he comes. Probably the hardest run he probably could have gotten at Brisbane Roll Racing. Had to take down pretty much every fast car, and went up against a really, really fast Evo in the finals and managed to get him. So we're all psyched for that. He's going to be hyped as well. I'm sure he's going to be pumped.
Yes! Oh, yes!
Go to the front!
I can't believe it. That feels good, doesn't it?
How good's that? That billet diff worth every cent.
I'm going to have some ice cream. Anyone asks you on lunch? It's sweet more Chris.
Okay, so we do a quick recap from the weekend at Roll Racing. All the cars that we managed to get down there and the cars that we didn't. So I guess we'll start out with the elephant in the room. Big deal. Didn't make it down to Roll Racing. It wouldn't play the game for us. We couldn't get it where we needed it to be to actually go and race the thing. So another day, another big deal issue, but that's fine. We'll work through it. When we've actually got it all sorted, we'll make sure that we get you all up to speed. As for the other cars, Jamie's S13, we put it on the dyno Saturday morning, and I think it ended up going 1,052 on a little bit less boost than it went last time, as well as it was slightly more responsive. So we did a little bit of head work to that, a little bit more of an aggressive port job and stuff like that to sort of get the head flowing a bit better, and it certainly showed in the results. We also put that down to a 255 tyre instead of a 275, so Juddy got them thrown on his wheels. I can't remember what they're called now. Black. Anyway, Black. Juddy got them put on, so we've got a 255 on that now, slightly smaller tyre, bit more steady, as well as the coilovers. The rear coilovers got revalved because they were a bit stiff. They were sort of designed for a drag race car, not a roll race car. So it basically, as the car would hit, it was kind of smacking off it wasn't really letting it squat into the pool, essentially. So we got that down, and then Juddy got a new alignment, got that all sorted before he went down and raced. I think he got a couple good races in before his night sort of ended up a little bit short. Had some voltage issues. Voltage was sort of randomly dropping out. So we've got to look into that, and it's just not worth running the car when you've got stuff like that going on, because if you're at high RPM, high boost, and your voltage drops out, it can be a very bad time. So unfortunately, his night ended a bit early. While we had Jamie's car on the dyno, we did end up, I think it was one of the, it went like 1,020 or something like that, and ended up blowing the cooler pipe off on the hot side. Blew the cooler pipe off, which is, again, a bit of a recurring issue for that car. So there is absolutely plans to go plasma clamps in the future with that car, but we're just trying to get through with the silicon joiners while we can. When it blew that cooler pipe off this time, we'd sort of revisited the pipes and got them as straight as possible. Good bead rolls, good clamps, gave it the best possible chance to not blow off. When it did blow off, we decided that it was definitely time for this thing to get a blow-off valve put on it. Probably should have had a blow-off valve on it already, but it didn't. But luckily, I had one on the shelf at SRS Parts, so went grabbed that, got it put on the car while it was on the dyno, just ripped the cooler pipe off, welded it on, got the blow-off valve on there, and we haven't had any cooler pipe issues thus far, which is really good. So Glenn's S15 got a bunch of runs in. He sort of stays out there as long as he can, I think until he gets bored actually. But he got a lot of runs in early on, and then his car developed a little bit of a transmission leak, and it was squirting or leaking or misting ATF just absolutely into the wrong place onto the exhaust and making it smoke. So not really a safe thing to continue running that thing if you've got ATF under the car hitting the exhaust. It is quite a flammable fluid. So unfortunately his night ended a little bit earlier than we would have liked it to. that Datsun, we also got it all finished up and put on the dyno, so I think it ended up putting down 456 was the peak number that it made, which is really good results from the little CA considering it's in front of a power glide, so you generally lose quite a bit of power through a power glide, even on top of just through an auto. So you lose a bit through an auto, but power glides are a bit of a known thing to draw or suck a bit more power out of it. So nice and healthy numbers from that thing. I don't think he got many runs out of that. Such a little engine bay with quite a, even though it's a little engine, it's quite a big engine when you put it in that engine bay, and it just suffered from sitting in lines. The cooling system's just not quite there to keep that thing cold enough to be able to sit in the lines and then go and race. So that's something we're going to revisit on that car. Try and keep its temperature sort of under control. They're just slowly climbing and it's not efficient enough to be able to bring it back down. So we're going to revisit that on the Datsun. All right, moving on to the good news. Alex with Goku32 did actually end up taking home the win at Brisbane Roll Racing. So that's a really exciting time for not only him, but us as a shop. Sort of proves to us that we can tune a fast car and set up alignment and all that sort of stuff. We just did a bunch of work on that, including the PRP billet dry sump and front diff pan. So that setup's obviously working really well after the last outing where he shattered the factory one. So to get that car sort of back out at I think it's its second event after having all that work done to it and bring home the win is really exciting. It was a super consistent car all night. I don't think he lost a race all night, and yeah, just a really, really consistent car. And obviously Alex is a really, really consistent driver. So big congratulations to him. He got the win, and he's definitely not satisfied with just the one. So we're excited to see where we can take him and that car to this year, as well as the years to come. So we're back in the shop. Obviously we've got a bit of a cleanup going on after the last few weeks. We've had a hectic few weeks trying to get all the cars ready, mainly trying to get Big Deal ready, and unfortunately it didn't pay off this time, but it is what it is. That's the game you play when you want to go race these big horsepower cars. So we're back into it today, and we are straight into Matsuri prep basically. So we've got G up to get ready now. It needs a bit of work. We've also got Chasing here. It needs a bit of work, just finishing up. So on top of that, we're still trying to get Big Deal. We're going to beat this car. We're not going to let it defeat us. We will get it working, and I guarantee we'll get a win with it, but it's just a matter of time. So we've got Matsuri prep coming. We're also on to Big Deal, as well as trying to keep the customer work rolling through. We don't try not to slack too much on that, but racing definitely tends to take a priority just because it's the part of the game that we love the most, I guess. So once again, big congratulations to Alex and Goku32 and everybody involved with that. And we will see you all at Matsuri.